everybody, welcome back to Settlement Survival. It's your friend Sarmate here. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day. And we're in this one, we are going to be getting ourselves a little bit more of happiness in the town. We got 4 red smiley faces. It's not doing that great. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our technologies right away, and we are going to get fermenting. We talked about this in the last episode. You can see here that we need some glass. And luckily, I caught that before we needed it, and we got our kiln fired and working right now, producing us some glass. We got 205 in reserves. We are good to go. But before we progress any further, well, let's see. We got a little event here. I've never seen this one. Event alcohol. Click to jump. Although drinking can improve one's mood, too much drinking leads to drunkenness. This is true. Last night, a citizen drank too much and fell into the river. Fortunately, he was not injured, but he woke up. He suddenly found a bag of silver coins scattered around next to him. Pick him up and take him away. And we got 1,000 silver coins. So, yeah, we're up to 7,000 now. Great. Anyways, so in betwixt episodes, we got a couple things done. We have ourselves an advanced tailor nowadays. So I was looking at this storage space right here. And, you know, a long time ago, first season, I was like, I hate these big storage spaces because they take up a lot of room and they're not that efficient. And they are. And they do suck, but I was able to notice all this leather that we have sitting around. So if you click on this guy or any of these, you can see that we have a ton of leather and alpaca wool. So I put it in the advanced tailor so that we could get ourselves some down jackets, get some warmer clothes going. Finally, we do have good amounts of clothing, a little bit of a stockpile, and we're doing great with that. But we just had the rough clothes produced from linen, so we got an alternative. So that's great. I went a little bit wild on the research institutes. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 research institutes. Something else that I think we should have for more future, I guess, is we have the Grove from a while ago, and we also have cherry seeds. So I think we should put some of these in. I'll show you here. We have cherry seeds right there. I'm assuming that's going to be in the Grove or the orchard. We'll have to check. But my thought for that is later down the line, we're going to have canning, we're going to have fruits, and we're going to need that stuff. So it'll be good. And we have a ship here. So let's just take a moment. We got 7,000 coins. Let's just see what we got. And we have some cutlery that we could also sell too. Ooh, duck can be raised in pastures. We have a couple other feather birds, so I don't think we need a duck, but chocolate spirits, so nothing great. The one thing that I'm kind of curious about is the fishing nets, because that box that I think I mentioned in the last episode, every once in a while there's a box that floats down the river, and in order to click on that you need the fishing nets. Unfortunately, I don't remember how many you need. I want to say it was 50. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab some of these fishing nets. All right, so we can get about 70 fishing nets and 2 spirits for just extra, so we round it out to 1062, 1062. Let's get that going. So those fishing nets are going to be for that box that floats down. I don't really have anything to use them for yet. We don't really have a, what is it called? Fishing port or something or other. I think that's under agriculture. This guy, fishing port. Look at that. I was right. Excellent. So but that's a while down the road, but we'll worry about that later. But so yeah, we'll catch some boxes when we see them. And it looks like our grove is on the way to being completed. Our nursery's still sitting here. I didn't have the extra point for the herb seeds. We did just get an extra point. And the thing I want to spend that extra point on, we talked about this also in the last episode, it is going to be smelting. So smelting is going to unlock a bunch of things for us. These are all mining forges, like this one. So that's mining smelting. I think this guy needs it too. Yep. So we can get this, go this way, and then we can start to get to the mint. And that way we can make our own silver coins and get into some more trade stuff. We also want to get those herb seeds. So, I forgot to click it. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that mining, we'll get smelting, and we'll get that started. And then I think the next thing we'll get are the herb seeds. Because we need to start getting our own medicine. We've been able to find some stuff around town, but it's not that great. It's not enough. So something we gotta do. So we got the Advanced Blacksmith now. We got the... What else did we get from there? Gotta be something else too. Oh, Smelter, of course. So a couple things we gotta build around here. So we do have our 1 blacksmith, which is right here. We can upgrade this guy. And we I think let's do that. So let's upgrade this guy to the Advanced Blacksmith. I'm probably going to put in another Advanced Blacksmith because I want one to make tools. I want one to make hand carts, which I don't think we have yet. We have to relearn that technology, but eventually. But we do have a smelter. So we have the clay, the stone, and the iron to get this done. So we could do that. But where to put it is the thing. So I'm kind of wondering if I won't need to start another little area and make more like industrial things. But for now, I think we can start working our way over this way. We have this little corner still. I did put a couple more homes up in this area. I left this one blank because everything except for the clinic really reaches that. And I thought it would be silly to like build another clinic just for that one house. So I just didn't put it in there. But we got a couple more houses over here. And we are hoping, you know, I like to try and keep the boarding house a little bit empty, but it's been difficult to do because I've been taking in all the immigrants that come. I needed the people to work. So when we saw immigrants, I would grab them. You know, then by the time that first batch was gone, like in the house or they've grown up or whatever, then another batch would fill in the boarding house. So it's coming along, and I just noticed something on the timeline. Maybe you saw it too. We have our first tornado coming. So interesting. I'm really curious to like what the logic behind the tornado is, because I haven't had anything for this whole time, 48 years, nothing, not a single tornado. And then I pretty much click smelting and a tornado appears. Luckily, we have a shelter ready to roll and we know how to deal with tornadoes nowadays, but I just thought it was interesting. But this tornado could be, ooh, it could be way more devastating than any other tornado we've had because of the difficulty we're playing at. So I'm nervous about this. Even if we save all the people, they're gonna be homeless. It's gonna be a big deal. So we'll definitely deal with that this episode. I wasn't planning on that, but that's okay. Sometimes those surprises can be entertaining and fun. But in the meantime, let's get this winery started. We just talking about the glass a little bit ago that we got working, so we can do that. The winery, I mean. And with the glass that we had, so we can put this guy in. Sure, we'll put it right there. And then we'll need another smelter probably, but I'm not going to put that in yet. We do have this guy ready to. Oh, look at this little tree. Okay, so this is one of these trees that you can click on. I had one up here. There's a big one right here a little while ago that was covering up these three things. It was cool. Look at this guy coming in. You can just see it. Boop, boop. Bigger and bigger, bigger. That's cool. So yeah, cherry trees. Let's get that rolling. And just another little thing, another food source. Can't hurt. Can't hurt. It's good. And look at that guy. So that thing's gonna be in the way here momentarily, but I'll just let it go. Oh, so for our production, you can check this out. Got our beverages. We're in the green. Food was in the green. Yeah, look at that. So our food and water problems have been resolved with the steps that we took in the last episode. So that's great. We do have 2 people working in each of the mines right now for our coal, for our stone, and for our iron. I guess this is a quarry. It's not a mine if we're going to get super picky, but it is what it is. So here we go. Smelter. This guy's using iron ore and furnace burdens to make steel. That's great. We don't need a ton of steel yet, so I'm going to leave this at 200. We could check our furnace burden. Okay, we got 220. That's great. So also with these farms, these glorious forest farms, I love these things. Absolutely super powerful. Hope they don't nerf them. We have been sitting nice with timber, and we've also been sitting nice with fuel. So remember, we had stuffed a bunch of people all over the place. So I took one person out of this sawmill. I had 2 people in here, I think, also working on domestic fuels from timber, and I swapped that back to animal dung. And then this was also packed with 3 people working on domestic fuels. So I backed all those people off. I needed them. So they're good to go now. That's another thing that I'm kind of concerned about with this tornado. If we lose people to the tornado, we're not going to have enough workers. Now, I do have 7 workers over here in the research institutes that I can flex around, because this absolutely doesn't have to be this high-paced thing that I want it to be right now. So we can flex some people around. Look at this tree. It's just getting enormous. Pretty wild. I can't even see anything. Well, I could rotate the map, I could rotate the map, but I'm not going to do that. But oh, I want to show you this too, because I thought this was kind of crazy. So these I turned off a long time ago, that not to plant or not to cut. I moved the people out for the farms. Look at how dense this grew. This is, I don't know if they had like seeds in the ground and they were just like growing up or something, but this grew super dense. And then we wanted to try out a little trick with the gatherer, the apiary, and the logging camp, which I did over here. So this logging camp, this is very small scale. We got 3 people working on one in each building. Turned off cut trees and turned on plant. So they're planting all this stuff around here. And remember, bees and these plants, gatherable plants, I guess, like mature trees. So this production goes up and this production goes up as these trees go up. So it's kind of neat, kind of a neat little self-packaged contained processing area. I like it. It's doing good things for us. So this, I think this tree is done growing. So if we can click on this, if I can get in there. So this area of land is unusually fertile, and perhaps that is why an unusual tree has grown on this spot. It seems that the surrounding trees are affected by its growth. You cut down the unusual tree or just transplant it to another spot. So if you cut down, you get a bunch of wood. If you let it grow freely, you need iron tools. That seems backwards to me. I wonder if they change this. So I was going around cutting down trees and just getting the timber for it, because first of all, because we needed the timber. But I don't have enough iron tools. I'm at 186. I'm gonna cut it down. There, I get the timber. I get 60 timber. That sucks. So the negative effect with cutting it down is that the trees around it grow more slowly. And unfortunately, it was like pretty much in the midst of our forest farm. I don't know if these fall under that category or if it's just wild trees. So I would have liked to just leave it there because it was kind of it was in a crappy spot, but it was also kind of a fun spot. But I just don't have the tools to spare right now. Oh, and it looks like our Advanced Blacksmith is good to go, getting built. Gonna continue to be able to build some more of those tools that we are kind of running low on. It's not too bad right now, but we're doing okay. We definitely need to keep that process rolling. Yeah, and the blacksmith will have to happen as well. So I guess we just have to wait for this tornado to happen and see where we are on the other side of it. So I'm gonna just wait for that and batten down the hatches, and I'll bring it back right before it hits. All right, the tornado will be here very, very soon. But I was just gonna let this merchant ship pass, and then I was like, meh, let's just take a look at it. Look at this, it has 3 blueprints in it. I'm glad that I didn't let it pass. So we have Sword in the Stone blueprint, Skull of a Giant Beast, and an Ancient Tree. Sword in the Stone we did see in 2 series ago, not last season, but the season before, I think. So I'm gonna do the 2 that I haven't seen yet. So that's gonna be 6,000 coins. We have, it's just plenty, just plenty enough. 6,000. And so what I initially thought with just let this pass was because I was gonna wait to see what the tornado did to us, and then save that money for maybe orders or something to supplement to maybe any need that we might have from whatever the tornado changes. But I'm gonna do the irresponsible thing and buy some blueprints. So let's do transaction, and we'll turn the game back on, and we can see what those are by going right here. So, ooh, ancient tree. Okay, decorative buildings that can be built in towns, blueprints required. Symbolizing fertility will reduce the birth spacing of citizens by a small amount. That's interesting. Cool. Okay, this guy says an animal head skull can attract animals and increase the probability of obtaining animal cubs during hunting. Cool. 2 really neat things. Neat ideas. So we could probably put these in, but let's see where this tornado hits. Tornadoes are a terrible disaster. It will destroy buildings along its way, sweep away supplies, and cause the death of a large amount of citizens, plants, and animals. Shelters, yeah, we know. Okay, so let's see if we can find where this tornado is going to hit. I wish it would like tell me something. Okay, this says there is a tornado. There it is. Okay, so we have the tornado rolling up. I guess this popped up. Can we click it and bring us to it? No. Okay, so let's hold on. I just see if this just goes straight north. It doesn't look like it's going north, does it? It looks like it's heading right into the town. So when it gets to be about right here, I'm gonna hit this gather button and call everybody to the shelter right about now. Because remember, if we do this too early, people are gonna starve, they're gonna freeze to death. There goes our alpacas and our geese. Oh man, right through our supplies. Oh, maybe not, just barely missed. Oh, tore up a bunch of houses, a boarding house, and there it goes. So a disaster, definitely. but not as bad as we've had before. It helps to learn from your mistakes. So we got problems now. So let's slow down the game just a touch. We're going to need to replace some things. So remember that before we can even rebuild any of our houses, you have to have the marketplace, because if you hit rebuild on this house without the marketplace up, it's just going to go away. So let's see, want that, but hit rebuild on your marketplace. That's going to go first. We'll get this priority built up. So a problem we have. Okay, so this is resource recycle 100%. So what I was going to say is a problem that we have is under construction. We don't have this tech learned. Material recycling, and that might take priority here, depending. Well, probably not, because this is going to need to happen before we have to sit around and wait for that to get done. So we got a bunch of homeless people. Definitely not good at all. So if we can get this thing repaired quickly, then we can get the boarding house repaired quickly, and then we can start to pick up the pieces of our shattered lives. So it'll be a thing, but luckily it wasn't as bad as it could have been. If that would have been, you know, just like over here instead of just grazing it, we could have lost a lot of supplies. So that's, you know, the risk of having things grouped up like that is if a disaster happens, you're gonna lose it all at once. But luckily we have a lot of stuff spread out, so it wouldn't have been a huge deal, but it still would have sucked, because that's a lot of work that the peeps put in that just would have got wasted. But yeah, we'll just need to repair our buildings, and then we'll be good to go. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. Oh, there, look at that. We got the marketplace done. So let's get this boarding house repaired. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night, and I hope to see you on the next episode of Settlement Survival.